Alright, hello everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Heroes of the Storm A to Z. The time has come. It is time for Thrall. It is the day of the Maltheal patch. It's actually just a few hours after that patch is launched. So Thrall is here, the reworked Thrall, the brand new, completely revamped, absolutely done. I did play him on the PTR. I did take a look at his talents. I did not play him on the PTR at all. So when we get into the game, this will be the first time, so it should be fun. But we're gonna take a look at him today. We're gonna see, you know, we're gonna go through all the talents just since everything was reworked. I'll kind of give you a rundown of what everything does. So for starters, Thrall is a melee assassin who does have some ranged abilities. Almost 4,000 health at level 20. 0.91 attacks per second, just gonna kind of look something like this. But he does very good damage with that 0.91 attacks per second at 362. Nothing special there. He gets him out. It's all kind of standard stuff there as far as assassins go. So what you will notice about Thrall is this little icon over here, Frostwolf Resilience. So that's his trait. What does his trait do? His trait's over here. When dealing damage with abilities, you gain 1 stack of Frostwolf Resilience. At 5 stacks, Thrall is instantly healed for 460 health. Now this scales up, of course. I think by default it's going to be like 200 or something like this. I do know that in the rework, the number that he gets healed for was actually nerfed down a little bit. It was taken down a notch. So you know, he gets some other abilities to kind of make up for it in terms of his talents, I guess. But it still provides him with a decent amount of sustain. I imagine in previous iterations, Thrall was a solid solo laner because of the sustain. As long as he's throwing out abilities and hitting people with stuff, you know, he'll be able to keep his health up. Mana can be a little troublesome to start with, but I don't know how much that's going to change with the new patch. I do imagine that he'll still be able to pump out a good chunk of damage. And he'll still be pretty solid in terms of a solo lane capability, just because it still will be giving him quite a bit of a health regen. So let's look at his talents. We'll kind of give it a run through. So his first is Q, is Chain Lightning. Shock an enemy with lightning. You deal 390 damage. The lightning then bounces 3 times to nearby enemies. So it looks something like that. We'll talk about cooldowns. There's nobody here, so it only hits this guy 1 time. Also, you'll notice I get a little ding here under the ring. So if I go like this, you see it then bounces. Excuse me. And because it bounced, it hit the first target, and then it hit 3 other targets. So it went ding, 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 and it filled up my Frostwolf Resilience. And had I been...
Well done.
There you go. See, I hit 4 times now. That's 4 abilities. 1 ability that hit 4 times, I should say. Had I had any health to be restored, it would have gave me a chunk of my health back. Let's see what that looks like. All right. We'll just take some damage here from these tower shots. We'll wait for the minions to come out. We'll tag the minions with that, and you see I get healed when I do that. So it does give him a little bit of a burst. And because of the fact that Chain Lightning can chain to up to 3 enemies, you can actually fill this up pretty quickly. Next ability is W. It's Feral Spirit. For those who used to play Thrall, they did tweak this a little bit. It only bounced to 2 heroes or 2 targets before. They did tweak it a little bit. It is now 3. His next ability is Feral Spirit. Unleash a Feral Spirit that deals 335 damage to enemies in its path and roots heroes, not necessarily other things. Roots heroes for 1 second. Each hero hit increases the distance traveled by 25%. There you go. So by default, let's just see what it looks like. By default, you just send that out. It looks kind of like that. You see how it stops right there? But once I hit this hero, it goes out just a little bit further. You see it travels out just a little bit further, so you hit a bunch of heroes, you could actually get this to go out conceivably pretty far, and it does root that guy as it hits him. So if you can land this, I mean, you can send this through a wave of minions to deal some damage and trigger your Frostwolf. So you kind of go something like that. I only hit 2 of those mercs, but you can send it through an entire line of minions and really trigger Frostwolf. You can send it through a line of heroes and trigger it, as well as root them all, so that's pretty nice. Again, this was reworked as well. Previously, it would stop at the first hero hit. Now it's just going to go right through them.
For the whole.
So, and it's actually going to root all heroes too as well, which is pretty nice. Lastly is E is Wind Fury. Increase Thrall's movement speed by 30% for 4 seconds. And his next basic attacks occur 100% faster, and they generate Frostwolf Resilience. So it looks something like this. If I toggle it, you see I go faster, there's the movement speed. If I go up and hit somebody, boom, boom. You can see I've got the attacks per second bonus. So this obviously has offensive capabilities. You could close the gap on someone and smack him in the face a couple of times really quickly. If you really need to, you can use this defensively since it gives you movement speed. You can kind of toggle that and just get out of dodge very quickly. It is a 12-second cooldown, so if you're going to use it in that manner, you know, basically don't use it if you think you're going to need it to get away, you're going to need to pick somebody off and finish him off. Let's look at his ults then, as well. We'll go through, we'll see, we'll just pick through here. First we got Sundering. After a half second, sunder the earth in a long line, dealing 661 damage and shoving enemies to the side. So this is pretty solid. It's a long range. It's not super long range, but it's long range. You get a lot of damage out of that, and the displacement and the stun actually still make it very valuable. You can kind of separate enemies from from each other. You kind of stun one guy over here, one guy over here. You know, and it's going to knock them, as you might imagine, to the opposite side of like the center from where they're at. So that's pretty solid. This one is still see Earthquake a lot.
Choose a talent.
A large range here. After a half second, summon a massive earthquake that pulses every 4 seconds. Each pulse lasts 2 seconds. It slows all enemies by 50%, and it deals damage. We'll let this go. It's going to look something like this. Okay, now it's going to wait a second. It's going to pulse again. Now here's something. Each pulse is going to trigger your Frostwolf Resilience. So it's going to give you a stack of that. Now if you have multiple heroes within this, this will get multiple pulses, will get multiple charges. So that can be a very strong heroic. The damage is so-so. I mean, you really don't get damage out of it. The main idea is you have this large AoE slow, and it gives you some self-sustain because maybe you'll trigger this a couple of times. That's kind of the big point of Earthquake, is you can get in on somebody. It is such a long range. Like from the center, they'll be slowed this entire way, and it can really allow your team to kind of follow up or at the very least, the enemy team will bail out. And give you guys like control over this area that you're going to be in. So those are the basic rundown on Thrall's talents and abilities. Well, not his talents, his abilities. Let's run through those talents now. We'll take a look and we'll see what he's got. We'll go through each of them since everything is reworked. Level 1, you've got your choice of looks like 2 quest talents here. All of them are going to affect your Chain Lightning ability. So first off, we've got Echo of the Elements. Kill minions or heroes within 1.5 seconds of hitting them with Chain Lightning. So you can kill them with the Chain Lightning, or you can kind of finish them off right afterwards. After killing 10 of them, you reduce the mana cost from 45 to 25, so that's pretty great. After killing 20, you gain a second charge. So that could be potentially really big. You'll be able to fire off 2 charges at once, especially in a big team fight if everyone's grouped up. Not only will it tag everyone all in one shot, which will be a little bit of a burst damage, but you'll get all those Frostwolf Resilience charges. Alternatively, we've got Crash Lightning here. Repeatable quest. Hitting at least 2 heroes with a single use of Chain Lightning increases the damage of bounces by 10. Not the initial hit, but the bounces. You'll see the bounces do less damage than the initial shot. Up to 400. After hitting multiple heroes 20 times, Chain Lightning will prioritize bouncing the heroes. So if you're in a group, if you're in a big group of heroes and minions, you're going to get some bounces off on the minions. This will make it make sure that it bounces on heroes. I like this in theory. I think in practice it might be a little difficult to stack this up all the way. Plus, by the time you stack this up, you're not going to be necessarily fighting within minion waves all the time. That's my personal opinion. Again, this is all kind of brand new. I didn't really play much on the PTR, so we're going to see how that shakes out. Or you can go Rolling Thunder. For 10 seconds after hitting an enemy with Chain Lightning, Thrall's next basic attack against them restores 10 mana. Passively, it increases the range by 30%, and it gives you an extra bounce. So you get 4 bounces.
Choose a talent.
And you get a pretty long range. It's going to look something like that.
Choose a talent.
Alright, level 4. Let's actually take this. Level 4, we have Feral Resilience. Heroes damaged by Feral Spirit will grant 2 stacks of Feral Resilience, giving you 50 armor against the next incoming hero basic attack. Stacks are consumed on the next basic cast of Feral Spirit. So, what this means is, if I take this, I'm going to cast this here, I get an armor stack. These are bugged down here because I had gone through some of the talents, so you can ignore some of this, but I get some block stacks. If I cast this again and miss, it goes away. So you got to keep this in mind if you're facing auto attackers. Whoops.
Choose a talent.
There we go. Let's go through.
Choose a talent.
Only meant to take
Choose
that.
a talent.
Keep this in mind if you're going through if you're facing auto attackers and you hit this on somebody and you get those block stacks, you're going to have to keep an eye on here of when you're going to cast this, because if you miss, you will lose those stacks. Alternatively, you get Frostwolf Pack. You hit 7 heroes with Feral Spirit. That's your quest. Progress is lost if you get killed or if you miss. Now the reward is, I'm going to show you this in action here. If the reward is reduces the cooldown and mana cost of Feral Spirit by 50%. So 12-second cooldown by default. We'll go through. So see, you hit it twice. Oh man, I missed. And then that's the end of that, and you're going to lose it. So you want to make sure, especially in the early game, you're going to tag through this real quickly. I could just hit the complete button, but I just want to show you how it looks. Alright, so now we've got it complete. Boom. There's the complete quest. Now it's not such a big deal if you miss. Now, once you hit those 7, you can miss and it's fine. But I think the big value out of this is it's going to have, not double, it's the opposite, have the cooldown. So now you're going to be able to toss these out on 6-second intervals, and that could be a really big deal, especially if you're landing them consistently. Lots of roots is really good for the hard CC. Lastly, we could do Mana Tide, where your Frostwolf Resilience restores 20 mana and reduces basic ability cooldowns by 0.5 seconds. The basic ability cooldowns is an interesting thing. The mana is nice too, so you'll get some health as well as mana when this triggers. At level 7, we have a repeatable quest that could potentially stack indefinitely. Is Maelstrom Weapon. Basic attacks against heroes while Wind Fury movement speed bonus is active. Increases the attack damage by 1.
Choose a talent.
And you see right there, that is 5 stacks right there. So I wanted to point that out. You do get the 3 basic attacks that that attack faster when you trigger this, but that's not the only thing that lets you hit this. It is any attack that you make, any basic attack that you make while the movement speed is activated. So if I'm already on somebody and I trigger this, it looks like from the state of things, you're going to get 5 attacks straight away, assuming nobody moves. At any rate, let's look at this. If you do this 20 times, after gaining 20 attack damage, which is what we've got, so that's 20 times. After gaining 20 attack damage, increase the movement speed bonus of Wind Fury to 40, which is actually faster than mount speed, so that's nice. After you get 40, Thrall permanently gains 15% increased movement speed. That's interesting. If you can get this. Now, this is only going to trigger against heroes. You're not going to be able to stack this up against minions or anything. But if you're able to build this up, you're going to get a permanent speed boost, which can actually be a big deal. So, consider that. I want to see what this looks like. So if I complete quests, well, now I've got 1,000, because like I said, this will stack indefinitely. This will go faster than, this will actually stack up after you complete the second reward. It's actually kind of funny. Look at all that bonus damage. Hurrah. Anyhow, yeah, so that does, you do go up to 140%. It doesn't affect your mount speed. Your mount speed is going to stay the same even if you get the bonus. But it gives Thrall a lot of mobility. Allows him to track people down or maybe run away, depending on the situation. Alternatively, we've got Ancestral Wrath. Activate to consume 8 stacks of Ancestral Wrath, damaging a target enemy hero for 15% of their maximum health over 3 seconds, and heals Thrall for 150% of the damage dealt. So that's actually pretty significant. You gain 1 stack of Ancestral Wrath every time Frostwolf Resilience activates. So you need to get 8 stacks to trigger this, and it only gets 1 stack when this triggers. So this could conceivably, it's very strong in the sense that it's 15%. Not only like it's blood for blood on steroids, really, but it could take a while to build up the stacks in order to do it, because you do have to do this 8 times. Lastly, we have follow through. After using an ability, your next basic attack within 6 seconds deals an additional 40% damage. We already talked about the alts at 10. At 13, we've got Grace of Air. Wind Fury grants twice as many stacks of Frostwolf Resilience. So that's also nice, especially if you hit somebody like 3 times in succession. Frostwolf's Grace. Your Resilience can be activated to instantly heal for 150% of its normal amount. So that's potentially gives you a little bit of a on-demand, self-sustain, on-demand healing. Or Spell Shield, which is basically your standard Spell Shield heal, but it's got a little bit of trick. It's a little different in the sense that it's 45 seconds, so every 45 seconds you gain 50 spell armor, and then that Frostwolf Resilience will lower that cooldown by 5 seconds. So you can toggle it on and off just like you can. So the standard spell shield, or spirit, they call it spirit shield here, but the standard spell shield is 30 seconds. This is 45, and your trade can lower the cooldown on that. At level 16, Tempest Fury. The final strike of Wind Fury hits 3 times for 75% normal damage. We'll go through that. We're gonna have a crap load of damage from that. That's fine. You see that? It's like 1, 2, 3. And all of those will trigger Maelstrom Up, and I guess 1,000 is the highest you're gonna get. So if you do somehow manage to hit 1,000 people with this, and the game's still going on, well, that'll be a thing. Thunderstorm. Hit heroes to make Chain Lightning slow. Now this is it's interesting. It's a quest talent all the way over here, level 16. Casting Chain Lightning on a hero other than the last hero it was cast on causes it to slow targets by 8% for 2 seconds. Repeatable quest, each consecutive cast against a new hero increases this bonus by 8% up to 40%. The bonuses will reset if you die or if you cast it on the same hero twice. If you do build it all the way up, the initial damage is increased. So this is going to, I'll show you what this does. This is actually good. Unlike Frostwolf Pack.
Choose a talent. Choose a talent.
So here's the maximum. We're going to cast Chain Lightning here, so you get the big bonus. But here's the thing, if I cast it again, you see he's got this. This is the last guy I hit it with. So unlike Frostwolf Pack, this will dissipate if you don't do what it says. So this isn't like you complete the quest and you keep it. You still have to maintain that, which basically means you can't cast Chain Lightning against the same hero twice in a row. And you do have a little icon here to kind of show you, hey, here's the last guy that you did it on. Lastly, you could do Alpha Wolf. For 3 seconds after a hero is hit by Feral Spirit, Thrall's basic attacks against them deal an additional 3% of the target's maximum health as damage. If you combo that up there with Wind Fury, you could really go, do some bursts, especially in some high health heroes. It also passively increases the duration of the route to 1.5 seconds, and you see here by default it's 1 second, so a little extra route time. At level 20. Let's look at the upgrades on your alts. World Breaker lowers the cooldown of Sundering by 20 seconds. Sundering by default, 70 seconds here. After Sundering impacts, it leaves behind an impassable rift, blocking unit movement. So something like that. See, you can't get through this. This just cuts people off. So you can use this almost like a Tassadar Force Wall kind of deal where you can block people off and separate them. This used to just be able to cast indefinitely, so you can like snipe people on one side of the map on the other side. So you can see it no longer does that. It just doesn't increase the range, it just lowers the cooldown and leaves some impassable terrain. Earth and Shields. Allies hit within the Earthquake area gain a shield. I'm sorry, let's try that again. Allies within the Earthquake area gain a shield equal to 15% of their maximum health for each pulse. The shield lasts 4 seconds. So this could be strong. If you get everyone together in there, you drop your Earthquake, suddenly everyone on your team who's in that, hopefully which will be everyone because it's a pretty long range, they're all going to get shields to boot, which makes it very difficult, makes you very imposing in a team fight. You got your standard Nexus Blades, they kept that. Basic attacks, 20% more damage, and they slow movement speed, nothing out of the ordinary there. And then you get, this is one of those revamped Bolt of the Storms that we're talking about. So Wind Rush, 70-second cooldown. Activate to immediately teleport to a target location and gain Wind Fury. So we're going to go through, we're just going to take that. Oops, I took everything but the right one.
Choose a talent.
There we go. So, activate to immediately teleport to a target area. So it's a short range, but you jump over there and now you get Wind Fury. So I can close the gap on somebody essentially and immediately just start smacking them in the face with Wind Fury, which can be really strong. I can still use it defensively if I need to, because not only will I port out, but then I'll get Wind Fury, so I'll get the speed bonus on top of it. So there are, again, a couple applications for this new improved Bolt of the Storm that they're calling Wind Rush. There are a couple other heroes who had their Bolt changed around in the patch. So that's Thrall in a nutshell. I suspect I have a few ideas for a build. We're going to hop into a game where we're going to try it out. He does have some situational things that you can pick, like lots of ability damage. Spirit Shield will be pretty solid. You have some options here. If you're facing like super like double tank or high health heroes, Alpha Wolf could be really strong. Otherwise, maybe Tempest Fury could be interesting, especially if you're going Maelstrom Weapon or anything like that. At any rate, I still suspect he's going to be a very solid solo laner. Maybe a little less sustained than he did before. I'm not sure. The initial reports that I've heard reading ye old interwebs is that he's very strong, and he does quite a lot of damage. So let's play him out. We're in Quickmatch. We're gonna see how this works out. We may, well, I'm almost sure we'll get a Maltheal in here as well, since this is brand new. Maybe even a Malfurion. There's our Maltheal. No Malfurion? Are we gonna get this to go? Maybe it's not going to take. I think we're gonna lose this matchup. That's too bad. I would have been happy with this comp, actually, for starters. I would have been okay with that. We got a solid tank and a healer. That's a shame. Let's see what happens here. Anyway, we'll try it again. I still suspect a Maltheal will pop up, because the queue time for him is pretty long. There we go. There's your Maltheal. We got a Nazebo, a Johanna, and a Nova. Alright. So let's see. We got no heals, which is fine for Thrall. He does have the self-sustain, like I said. And we're on Blackhearts Bay. How about that? So the new patch has restored all of the old maps to Quickmatch. So there's no there's no map rotation on Quickmatch. So we get all of the old maps. And here's Blackhearts Bay. I have not played Blackhearts Bay in some time. It is probably my worst map, so we'll see how this goes. So the enemy team has got a Johanna, Azmodan. Alright, so Azmodan can push a little bit. Cassia, Sonya, so they got a lot of beef. So I'm probably going to go that Alpha Wolf at 16, because they've got a lot of high health targets. Sonya can be tough to take down. Johanna's tough to take down. Azmodan has a lot of health. I don't know how the Maltheals are going to play out. We've got your Nova here. Nova might have a hard time. There are not a whole lot of squishy targets for her to burst down. Yet, this could be a thing. This could be a thing. They've got a lot of beef. We'll see how it works. So I'm hoping here that Nazebo, at the start of this, will just kind of hang out. I don't know if he'll want to go bottom lane. He might want to go top lane and kind of just cycle between the top two to try to build up some of his quest stacks, or his trait stacks. I might go bottom lane, just because it's so far removed from everything else. But again, it's quick match, so anything goes. I'm gonna start with Echo of the Elements. I think I'm gonna give that a shot. That seems like it'll be just some consistent damage. Nazebo says Toads. Does that mean he's gonna go Toad build? That'll be a thing. He did go Toads. Nazebo went Toad build, not Spider build. So
10 seconds.
He says he'll solo bot. Okay. Well, there you go.
4, 3, 2, 1.
So I'm fine with that.
Let the battle begin.
I can deal with it. I'll come up here. I'll try to rotate up in the top two lanes, help the team out. I imagine there's going to be a kerfluffle here over the top of this. Yep, there we go. We do get it to start off. Lots of that to start with. Oh, Maltheal on Maltheal violence. Ooh, I'm a little out of position. There's the root. Oh, I'm not even paying attention. Oh, that was dumb. That was dumb. I was looking at this action up here. Didn't see the fact that Azmodan had latched onto me with his laser. That is just shit map awareness on my part. So Azmodan went laser build, so that's a thing too. I gotta watch out for that. So he went laser build. So that's something I do need to be cognizant of. All right, we're gonna come up here. All right, I gotta bail out. Yeah. Okay.
Spirit healer go.
So I'm 0 for 2 in this. I'm not playing Thrall very well. They converged on us pretty quickly. I hate this map so much. I'm gonna come up top. That was a good spear by Sonya up there. I'm gonna come up top. I need to build my stacks up here on my quest. I need to stop being crap first off. So that's a thing as well.
Yes. At last.
There's one. What I am gonna do, okay, I was gonna say someone's gonna take middle, so that's good. We're gonna back off here because she's gonna run away.
You have forced my hand. Choose a talent. Face the might. Yes.
Missed that. That was not good. Oh, no, I did hit it. Okay. Thought I missed it. So I went the Frostwolf talent at level 4. So we're going to try to build that up. But that means here... So I just realized what that means. That means I can't use Frostwolf on these guys. And there I just missed it anyway. I can't use my Frostwolf on the minions because I'll lose my stacks. There we go, there's one.
Your enemy has it out for you.
And they turned in right away. That's kind of what I expected. Nope. Enemy Maltheal gets killed. Alright, 7 stacks on this. Not a great start to it. But I'm getting the feel of what I need to do in order to build it up. We got a couple of people over here. I want to be careful. I don't want to get picked off. I don't have a fort to fall back on. So...
Choose a talent. The might of the horde.
Oof. Alright, completed my quest, at least in terms of the Frostwolf. So that's what I want. So now this will have a shorter cooldown. My Feral, I keep calling it Frostwolf, Feral Spirit. This will have a shorter cooldown. Now I can fire this off without having to worry about losing it. Which will hopefully help me finish off my level 1 quest.
Face the might of the horde.
There we go, there's 10 on that.
Yes.
Come up here.
You have forced my hand. Elements guide me.
Looks like there's a big scuffle on the bottom.
At last.
I am worried though because we're still down a level.
That hero must be taken out, and soon.
Elements guide me.
I want that.
Keep fighting.
I'm gonna come here to the mid because it looks like we seem to be insistent on turning in. I hate Blackhearts Bay for this exact reason. Like, this guy's gonna hearth, and I guess it makes sense. He could have probably turned in first, but you know, he didn't want to die. I'm not gonna fault him for it. Now the enemy team is 10, but we're gonna come down here and try to get a pick on Asmodan. This is why I don't like... Yeah, exactly. This is why I don't like Blackhearts Bay that much, because when you get people who just get super fucking involved in, like, we've got to defend, and then you have 5 people that sit here, and then nobody bothers to get experience. We just got 10 for the first time. I'm going to take Earthquake. I'm going to come up here. 16 stacks on this. $18 stacks on that. Okay.
A clever strategy.
Yeah, he's right. That didn't really work out.
That's enough! We don't be working for free!
19 stacks on the Chain Lightning. There we go. Okay, so that's complete. Now I've got 2 stacks of Chain Lightning. So that is nice. We're going to come over here. We're going to take this Watchtower. And then if there's nobody here, we're going to take these doubloon camp. It looks like everybody is on the bottom.
Understood. Well done.
Seems to be what happened. This is where I get worried. I don't see a whole lot of people on the map. I see 2 of the enemy team down bottom, so I'm just taking a long time. That makes sense. They were not on the map, so they didn't get a chance to cycle. I don't want to get too far extended here. We've got... I missed that. That was poor.
To Davy Jones' locker with you.
This is a large map. It's very easy to get separated. Alright, she's going to take that doubloon camp there. Excuse me.
Your time has come.
All cannons hold!
Alright, we're trying to go over here. I'd love to take... Gotta watch out. There's 3 of them here. I don't want to get picked off. Look at this. This is what they're doing. They're doing a better job at everything. They've got 15 coins already. So they just turned in. They're able to turn in again. Hey, gang.
Your death shall
Yep.
be avenged, friend.
This is what happens on Blackhearts Bay. Here's a map lesson. You can win basically without even fighting the enemy team. You just gather coins and then you go turn in. And if your team doesn't pay attention, which is our team is not, they're just dicking around over here, then you lose.
No, our fort has fallen.
It's a snowbally map. Like, this is... Everyone bitches about Hanamura. This is the map that I hate. This is the horrible map.
The horde will
No one knows, like, this... I'm gonna stop complaining, and I'm just gonna play. Alright, level 13. Here's an interesting one. I don't even know what to do. We'll go Frostbolt's Grace.
courses through me.
Like, you see, like, this over here, they're gonna take all of this in mid. There's nothing we can do about it. Like, we're all spread out. Yeah. There we go, okay. There's a kill on Azmodan. That is a beefy son of a bitch. They still got the turn in.
Old Blackheart's got a gift for you!
For honor and glory.
There he goes. He goes down.
Has come.
I'm making a tactical retreat.
Fall before the horde. You have forced my hand.
Well then, who's got the coin for me services?
A clever strategy. Well done.
They still have 15.
Narosh.
17, so they're probably going to turn in again.
Dabu.
And again, look at this. We're all split up. Like, we're over here.
Warriors.
Yep, they just turned in again. Like, we're...
Your enemy has it out for you.
We've lost the key.
That's fine. You can dunk on me. It's not a big deal. We're much, much too spread out. There is a boss, too, up on the top of the map that I would like to look out for.
Understood.
So everyone's running up. Oh, everyone's running up top. We've got two guys that are pushing bottom.
They've had enough.
I just want to point that out.
I hear you.
Well, that's your fault, guys, because everyone went
Count on it.
top to go chase Johanna up against the keep, which is not very smart.
At last. Our core is under attack. I hear you. Face the might of the Horde.
If I was the enemy team, I'd be a boss right now. We're all gonna go here, but I will bet you that they are. I'm surprised. I'm actually surprised. If I were the enemy team right now, they're nowhere on the map. We can't see them. We're all spread out over here. Like, I would definitely be taking this boss. Yep. Nazebo calls it too, but what are we gonna do? We're nowhere near. We're not gonna be able to contest it. We're 2 levels down. We're all the way on the other side of the map. They're not even going for boss for some reason.
A clever strategy.
We're on, boys. Let's liven up this place.
Well done. Well done.
Are we gonna be able to track him down? I don't know. Little juke there. That was good.
Fire that cat.
They are going boss.
Your skull out instead.
We're not gonna be able to do much. We're gonna throw down an earthquake right here. And we get killed. Nova is over here. Look at this. I want to point this out. We all go in on boss. Look at Nova way over here. Nova's nowhere near anybody else.
That should teach them.
We probably could have gotten the pick on Azmodan. And
For free.
yeah. I have 1 kill? Oosh. Now, look at this. All of this is coming over here. Nova's cashing in 7. I mean, that's great. But it's not a turn-in.
Here be some fine booty.
The enemy is attacking.
That's
our
hysterical.
lost the key.
Good chance this is going to be game.
God. Face the might of the Horde. Your time has come.
Somehow not quite. It's a quick match for you. It's people just talking smack. They're going to win anyway, because they're going to turn in. They're going to get both coins, both coin chests.
I hear you.
Like, they have enough to cash in.
Your death shall be avenged, friend. To the conquered. Double kill. Triple kill.
Alright. At least that worked out.
Time has come.
So here's the thing. Now we're going to try and turn in. This is another mistake. Because they're going to try and turn in, and they're not going to be... They've got to pick these guys off. Like, rather than turn in, go as 4. Like, look what's going on here. These guys are turning in. Meanwhile, it's a 2-on-2 when it could be a 4-on-2. You know? Here again, everyone's split out.
Choose a talent.
That was lucky. We're gonna take this. We're gonna take the new talent here.
A good kill.
Nice.
Double kill.
All right.
I hear you.
That's
They have enough to turn in without us.
Seems we've reached an accord. Let's show your enemies a jolly good time.
Fort destroyed.
Is she gonna? She can't grab the second one. Okay.
Face the might of the Horde.
And we have the chance to give a pretty hard push here,
I must retreat.
but they're gonna be up within 20 seconds, so we do want to be careful. Here's Nova again. Nova is, look at this, way over here. Like, she's not near the team.
Cease fire! They want more. They'll need to pay up first.
A clever strategy. Your time has come.
This is a good juke. You just go back and get rooted.
Honor and glory.
Let's befriend these mercenaries.
At last. I hear you.
Maltheal took the talent at level 20 that increases his respawn time.
I will be back. Count on it. A great victory, but we're not done yet.
Now I'm in trouble. I can't really go anywhere because everyone is up at the base, and I don't want to get myself picked off. I'm not even worried about the coins so much as getting myself picked off will really put us in a difficult spot.
Hold the line.
God.
I will be back. Count on
That's
it.
it. Keep it up.
I don't think, I don't know if they're going boss. I don't know if... This would be where Nova needs to be. Like, just for the sake of argument, that's where Nova needs to be. Nova needs to get vision on that boss. And they are there, so Johanna's right.
Our core is under attack.
This is a good chance this is game. I think Nazebo's just going to be able to go in and... Yeah. Well, that's great, but that's game. Azmodan's going to be able to just push this in, I believe. I don't think we're going to get back in time, so there's not going to be anything that we can do about it. If you notice here, he's being chased, so he can't hearth. He went laser build, so... Well, alright, there you go. Stun her out of that. Stun him out of that, I should say. Yep, that was about what I expected. He does respawn right away. Now that was a mistake on his part. That was a mistake on the enemy Maltheal's part because...
The enemy is attacking our core.
That AoE that you saw him throw out doesn't affect structures, doesn't do anything to the core. So we didn't kill Azmodan, but we chased Maltheal away. He respawned right away, so he took that talent too.
Clever strategy. You have forced my
We're in a rough spot. If they turn in, they're going to win. for sure. There's a solid chance they're gonna go right back to the boss. Like, if I were the enemy team, I would... Oh, never mind. I am not the enemy team, apparently.
Enemy slain. Double kill. Triple kill.
There we go.
Kill.
So that...
We're on, boys! Ha-ha! Let's liven up this place!
Like, we should be able to just push bottom.
We did it.
At last.
Fire at will!
I need to stand away.
Keep destroyed.
Are they going to be okay without me? I don't know. I'm going to Hearth just to be safe.
Our core is under attack.
Well, who's got the coin for me service?
Yep.
We will fight again. MVP.
I do like that loading screen. So, what did we learn about that? Let's go through. We'll look at the stats. We'll look at the talents. Yay, roots. I died too much. Probably my own fault. A couple times we got picked off. I hate Blackhearts Bay. Personally, it's probably my lowest win percentage in a map. I don't think. I think it's too easy for someone. You get disjointed. What happened right there? We got behind early, and then everyone is spread all the hell over the place, and the enemy team is just ignoring fights, and they're just rolling in. It's like, look, the fight. Ultimately, at the end of the game, the kills were even. You know, I think we were a better team fighting composition, but people weren't paying attention to the map. Everyone's just like, well, we're just gonna do this. They were able to turn in high coins delivered. Yeah, they were able to turn in. Everybody's spread out all over the place. It's such a big map. That bottom lane is so separated from the top two. Like, the top two are just right there, and the bottom lane is just so far away. If anybody goes down there, everyone cycles around. You know, there were a couple of mistakes that I thought happened. One, and this is as a team. I'm not shitting on the team because I'm including myself in this. One where there was like, I saw 4 people on the minimap. They were chasing the enemy Johanna up to the top, and I'm like, what? I don't know what the plan is. Johanna, first off, is very, very difficult to kill. 2, even if they do catch her, they've got, you know, she's got the fort still alive up there, so she's going to be able to, you know, get some safety, and it's on their side of the map. Meanwhile, all the way in the bottom lane, you've got the Asmodan and, I don't know, I think it was Cassia, but you had 2 people, the Asmodan and somebody else, were just pushing down bottom lane with this huge wave of stuff, and it took us forever to make that rotation from top to bottom. Like, you don't need 4 people to chase Johanna down when you've got an actual threat going on. There was the first fight at the boss. I think it was the first fight at the boss. No, there's a chance. I think we engaged that boss poorly. We probably would have lost it anyway. But we're all up here, you know, engaging the boss. We're all up here engaging the boss, trying to prevent them from capping it and get a couple of kills. Meanwhile, Nova, who's a big chunk of the burst damage here, she's all the way on the other side of the map, kind of, you know, hitting Bribe on some cants. You know, and she's not turning in, like, unless she's got enough coins to turn in right there. Yeah, we you know, that would have been that. So essentially, that was a 4-on-5 fight for us. I think the other mistake that we made, we engaged over the chest. We were trying to turn in. We engaged over the chest. We got a couple of kills. Okay, I think I got myself dead, but it was 4 of the team were still alive. And so now, what was going on? You had 2 of the enemy team who were like basically half health, and they go in and they're just doing poke damage. Our team is sitting there trying to turn in, and they're taking poke damage from these 2, which should have been a 4-on-2 fight, maybe a 4-on-3 as Medan finally came up and started dropping, and started engaging. But what could have been a 4-on-2 fight, this easily could have been at least 1 kill. I think we easily could have gotten 1 kill there. What should have been a 4-on-2 fight, or even a 4-on-3 fight, where the enemy team's already at half health. Instead, we're sitting there trying to turn in. It turned into a 2-on-2 just kind of poke fest, where we're just taking damage and we're asking to get picked off. Ultimately, we didn't get the turn in. There. And that was a big mistake. Like that, I understand that you want to turn in and that's important, but you kill the enemy team first. You can get the kill there. I don't even know if they had coins, but you just kill the enemy team, and then after you turn in, you have free reign of the map to go and pick up camps and do whatever it is that you need to do. So that was a big mistake. At that last bit, yeah, they just had so much map pressure on us. I hearthed too late. I was hoping we were able to I was hoping when we won that last fight, we were going to be able to push to core. Like, the bottom fort was almost dead. I was hoping we were able to just go through. It turns out they had too much going on. I hearthed too late, and I don't know if we would have gotten it anyway. I was hoping we were going to hang around, be able to do it. Got there too late, and they had too much going on the core, and that's unfortunately what cost us the game. So that was an error in judgment on my part for sure. I don't think it cost us the game. I mean, it certainly contributed. We were largely gone at that point. They would have turned in 1 more time, and they only had to do 1 shot, so it was kind of a losing proposition for us. We couldn't. It's not even like if we turned in again, we would have won. We would not have won on another turn in. Well, they would have for sure. So yeah, that's tough. Tough game for us. I didn't play too well as Thrall. I was very, very rusty. I was not, I played Thrall a little bit pre-rework. I got to get the feel from this rework. Here's what I thought. Let's go through the talents, and I'll give you a rundown on what I thought. Level 1, Echo of the Elements. See, I did the quest talent here. Kill minions to get the 2 chain lightning surges, charges. I think this one worked out. I was able to, in team fights, kind of build up and get some Frostwolf Resilient stacks. I think I had a little trouble in the beginning trying to stack this up. I got a feel for it a few minutes into the game, and like who I needed to target and where I needed to aim my chain lightning in order to get the kills with this. Building this up was hampered a little bit by the fact that I took Frostwolf Pack at level 4, because I wasn't able to use Frostwolf Pack to finish people off until I completed the quest. I did thankfully complete the quest fairly quickly. I had to play a little passively with my Feral Wolf, but I was able to do it. I missed the 1 time, but after that I was able to build it up pretty quickly. 7 follow through, use an ability, your next basic attack within 6 seconds deals 40% additional damage. You do a lot of damage on your auto attack, so this is a significant boost. And then you get to couple it with your 2 charges of this, and then this is on a shorter cooldown. So the idea is that you get to prime this more quickly. I don't know if this worked out. I don't know about Earthquake. I mean, it worked out. I think it helped in that last fight over the chest. Maybe a 1 on the boss. I'm not sure. I don't know if this worked out. I like Earthquake. Sundering is still very solid. Sundering could have come in handy just for the stuns and the displacements. I'm not sure. This might have been one I thought about changing. Frostbolt's Grace. Resilience can be activated to instantly heal for 150% of its normal amount. Yeah, I'm fine with it. Extra little self-sustain. We didn't have any support, so any healing is good. Alpha Wolf, for 3 seconds after a hero is hit by Feral Spirit. I think this is really solid. The only complaint that I had is that I did have a little bit of difficulty with this team landing the root and then getting in range for the follow-up attacks. That's the only problem. I think that was more gameplay part on my end. And then finally, Windrush, which is the now new Bolt of the Storm. Activate to immediately. I use this defensively, where I had to port out and get the bonus speed. I also use this, on an offensive manner, where I ported in, had Wind Fury, and which is kind of, banging on somebody's face. Interesting matchup. They both Maltheals took No One Can Stop Death. I guess that works in a quick match. I'm not sure how I feel about Maltheal. I still am very underwhelmed. I'm gonna play some games as him, some AI games, then I'll hop in a quick match. We'll see how it goes. I'm still very underwhelmed with him. He did the most damage. He did the most damage on the enemy team. He was really solid. He had some good jukes, I'll give you that. But he also died 8 times. Our Maltheal died 8 times. I don't think... I just question this. Like, I think a lot of these kills are mitigated if we have a support. Like, in a quick match, yeah, I'm sure he'll do okay if he can stay safe. I question how he'll do in a coordinated game. You just throw some heals on somebody, and it's like, well, alright. He has no burst. But again, somebody proved me wrong. I've been wrong before. Anyhow, so that's Thrall, and with Thrall we'll play some Maltheal, and that'll conclude this series for the moment anyway. Yeah, my name's Conman. Let me know what you think about the rework. I'm not sure if that was a good talent build or not. I kind of just played it by ear and winged it and see how it went. I see the power in Thrall. I definitely see the power where he can, especially with follow-through, if he can get in your face, he can do a lot of damage very quickly. He's got to get there. He's a little low on the mobility side outside of Wind Fury, but he does have a root, so that's nice. If you can land the root, that's very strong. I still think he's going to be in a good place, but you know, we'll see how it goes. That wasn't a great game to kind of show it off, but you got an idea of what he can do. And yeah, so there you go. My name's Conman. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you soon.